guys, we have something cool today depending on what you're into, and it is a TUI file manager. Made by me and AI, but AI would have not made it without me, so I'm claiming full ownership. And position-wise, it's closest to a False Plus and a Dolphin Minus, although I would argue that I took out the bloaty and annoying parts of Dolphin. But also this is positioned to be more toward devs, right? Because you can open up a TUI on a remote, or you can open up the TUI next to a coding TUI, right? That's pretty good. And it's right next to it, instead of just randomly some other place. Of course, we have two tabs. You can drag around between them. You can open up contents. You can put this thing in there if we can. Okay, move it. And of course, you can mass select too. Do we have bugs? Most likely yes. So I guess I'm gonna work in more. And we can run things and open up terminals. We can trigger hidden. I'm not sure if you have any hidden right now, but we can definitely trigger it. Oh, there you go. We found the hiddens. And of course, as you can see, we have the split tab. And we have a sidebar where we have all the folders. Of course, we can open them up. There you go. I have a node modules there for some reason. Okay, we have favorites, recent, and the storage is actually showing which drive has which tabs open. So I just kind of have a 1 terabyte drive as the main one and pretty much the only one that I use. I don't need much space. And we can see that I have both tabs open on that. We have remotes too, but you gotta be realistic because talking through SSH is not gonna be as responsive as some kind of local experience. Of course, we are seeing at the top that we are in the main branch. Okay, let's see. So we have a node here. Let's say I drag this node across. Okay, move, boom. We drag this node back, boom. And I think this is gonna be a change. It's gonna be picked up. And now we see it, that I made a 1MD and copied in the 1231, and we have two changes. And this is gonna be, well, I guess it's gonna be picked up by auto committer. That is not related to this project. It's gonna be pushed up, ideally not, but I guess that is what we do now. Of course, I can just take this and like drag it across and like move. We can also make symlinks, so that's fine too. And of course, I'm doing this all with the mouse, and we can do this mass select as well. But the main point here is the visibility. You would want to see what the heck is going on. You would want to see which branch you're in, how many changes are happening. Of course, if we are in the clear, then it's green. If it's not, then it's gonna be red. We can open up tabs on the file tab, I guess. And this is what you would see in code editors, not so much in file managers. But that is not all. Of course, you might wanna open up things. We can do that with double click. And this is the default. But that is not all. We can also open up its space, which is it can be used for expanding, but also editing. And then we have an editor here. You can think of it a little bit like Nano. It's like I can say hello, boom. It's auto saved. We have certain things here, like well, what you would expect, I guess. But this is not for heavy editing sessions. Presumably, you would open up something more serious. And okay, we can open it up. So one thing that would be useful is like some kind of note taking. If you want to make some quick notes or want to make some quick edits, it's going to work just fine for that. But it's not just for notes, because we have the build script here, and I'm going to click space on it. And now we pretty much have a code editor here. Now, ideally, this is not for editing. This is just like, what the heck is going on? I'm going to open up this thing, right? Of course, we have some CPU and memory information, because that could be very useful information. I kind of wonder why it's not there. I mean, you can argue that it's not the concern of the file manager. Sure. But sometimes your memory and CPU is really getting choked, and it could be the fault of the file manager. So still, I would like to know. And let's see the fancier things. Of course, we can collapse on the split if that is what you prefer. But there's no a good reason for it, I would argue, unless you're dealing with a small screen or very long file names. So let's see the settings. We have columns, so you can customize what goes where. In the single mode, there's more information, or can be more information. But also we have some general settings, style, remotes. There's where you would put the remotes, but I'm not gonna show it because it's gonna show my remotes. And we have some shortcuts as well. And you can go back a screen by pressing escape. We have back and forward. Of course, this is for splitting. And this is gonna be process. So let's see what we have. And overview, right? Okay. So we can possibly see that some of my cores are getting choked. Probably by P. Yeah, that's what's running in the background. That's pretty much it. Also, this is not fully featured, but we have a quick way to look into Git. So we can see, like, you made some changes. These were the recent changes. The hashes, of course, when the change happened, who made the changes, what was the commit message. Nice. The last ones, But also you can directly open the editor over here. Project. Yeah, sure. Let's open something to start editing. Let's go with the README. And of course, you would have the same experience. I'm not sure I want to type here, but like, okay. I pressed escape by accident. And there we go. I'm just gonna add a bunch of exclamation marks to this thing that will be saved. Picked up as a change, and it's gonna be pushed up. Now we can see that it's red, and then it's gonna be green. I could already see just by the nature of visibility. Now this, you can see that your repo is dirty, right? So that is useful for that. And also you can see that your auto committer is broken if you have that. But also keep in mind that there aren't that many great options out there if you just wanna open something right next to some code thing. And if you, for example, open up VS Code, now that is what I would recommend for longer sessions, no doubt. But if you just wanna quickly open up the project to possibly even just to see the files, right? Are you gonna need it for that? You probably don't wanna just type in ls, and that's gonna be a bit weak. And for example, Dolphin is okay, but I'm not even sure what it's positioned for. I guess it's kind of a general file manager, so it's definitely not for this. But if you want to have a tile view, view pictures, and have a proper drag and drop onto the GUI, then it's clearly going to be better for that. And I'm not even positioning this deliberately as some kind of a thing that needs a special terminal, because that is the angle I think many, if not all, are taking, that we're going to be so special. So now you're going to need like the special things to run it. That is not my angle at all. I want this to be for 99+% of the terminals out there. And yeah, I think we have search too. That works as well. If that is useful, and probably not that useful, but it could be useful for dev. You can even space into things that you usually can't space into. Again, check out this SVG. So suppose, for sake of argument, I did the same screen on Dolphin, which is, as far as I know, one of the best options out there. Then there is genuinely less information. I guess one feature we can have that in the TUI too, but I'm not really seriously considering it. Unless there's high demand, where we can see the picture right there. But we can already open up the pictures. So if you want to see the tiles icon over there, we can just double click it and we got it. This would be the closest I can get it, but it's still less useful. And I would argue their split panel is not that great. If you make a split, then you have this, and like the split panel just goes away. Of course, you can have a double-sided commander things, and that would be my favorite. Yet, if you could use a TUI, then you're kind of screwed. And also, this is just a TUI specialty. You can actually very much zoom in and out. So that is just a given, although on some breakpoints, it might bug out, at least for a second or two. But generally, the best use case would be that, let's say we spawn a new terminal, tab, we do that, and then let's say that we open a code thing there. There you go. So we can order the code, but how are you gonna see this thing? Okay, well, easy. We're gonna open up tiles here, and now we see it. If you want another thing, let's say we open up another thing, now we're gonna see it. Again, it could be tiles. Of course, you don't have to have it open all the time, but now you have visibility with something that didn't give you any visibility before. And oftentimes the default answer to how do you know if you're on the wrong branch, or the changes are piled up, or your CPU or memory is choking, or possibly you're even on the wrong disk, is that you just don't. And arguably, opening up a code editor, VS Code, would be the best alternative, but it's not right next to it. So I got this running now, but well, first of all, it took like 3 to 5 seconds to open, and also it's not right next to it, and like I'm prompted to update, I'm prompted to log in, prompted to update my extensions, and if there's going to be any good business opportunity that Microsoft has for me, I'll be notified of that. And also it's consuming 500 megs just with this one thing open. Now, there are other more egregious ones. I would say VS Code is the possibly lightest, but also it's the one that got copied, so it almost doesn't matter. But also you're thinking to yourself that I didn't need this crap. I just wanted to have the file with some syntax highlighting, and that's it. So that is it. It all works perfectly for its main use, and I think it's kind of cool.